Imagine if every single thing you did throughout your day, every meal that you ate, every workout that you went through, every set, every rep within that workout, it all had a purpose. A purpose for one goal. For most people, this might sound completely insane, but for me, as a bodybuilder, it's completely normal. And bodybuilding is looked at as a sport or a form of art. To me, bodybuilding is a lifestyle. In order to be successful in bodybuilding, you have to live the bodybuilding lifestyle. And bodybuilding is a sport where the human body is pushed to the limit. It's transforming your body by packing on massive amounts of muscle to enhance your physique to look a certain way. It's very interesting to me. And bodybuilding was first promoted in the late 19th century by a man named Eugene Sandow. Eugene actually, at the time, bodybuilding wasn't even thought of. And what he did is he would go on these sideshows and just display his physique in front of these crowds of people, and these people would just be amazed. And the reason being is because they haven't seen anything like that before, and his physique was actually based off of Greek statues, like or Roman statues that we can still see today. And at that time, it was looked at as the ideal physique or the perfect physique. And today, he's actually known as the father of modern bodybuilding. Later on in the 1950s and 60s is actually when bodybuilding started to take off. And that was due to better gym equipment and better supplements, all with the help of a guy named Joe Weider from California. Joe was actually the guy who brought Arnold Schwarzenegger over from Austria, and he really made him into a big name and promoted his brand. And in 1977, they actually did a documentary on all these big name bodybuilders leading up to the Mr. Olympia competition. And the Mr. Olympia competition is like the Super Bowl of bodybuilding. It's like the biggest bodybuilding show in the world. Arnold would actually go on to win, and altogether he would win 7 titles. The way that I actually got introduced to bodybuilding was through a very good friend of mine at my gym. And I went up to this guy, he was huge, and I was like, "What do you do, man? Do you play football or what do you do?" He's like, "I bodybuild." And I was like, "Bodybuild? What's bodybuilding?" I was like, "I've heard of it, but I've never really looked into it or anything." He's like, "Dude, it's awesome. You gotta do some research or something on it." I was like, "How would I go about that?" He said, "I want you to go watch this movie and you'll have an outlook on what bodybuilding is." And I went and seen this movie, and it was actually Pumping Iron, the movie that they made in 1977. And after I watched that movie, I was amazed. I was like, I want to look like these dudes. I thought it was the coolest thing ever. And after that, I started doing more research, and I tried to figure out how much food I should be eating, what food, what kind of diet, all that kind of stuff, what kind of training, all kinds of stuff. And I would just look up all these different bodybuilders, and today I pretty much know all these bodybuilders by names. Like, I can look at a bodybuilder and know that's him, that's whoever. And the hardest part of bodybuilding is actually getting into it, the lifestyle. the reason it's so hard is you could be the strongest guy out there, but if you don't bring your mental game, if you don't do certain things at certain times, if you're not consistent, you're not going to be successful. You have to eat, sleep, train, repeat. And it starts in the off season when you're putting on those pounds of muscle and trying to get bulk up, and all the way up into your contest prep. And bodybuilding is all about preparation. It's all about having a goal set, having time set to reach a certain point, and coming up to a contest, you have to lock it in, and you have to be on your game. During a contest, you shed all that fat, all that water, you deplete from all that stuff that you all that bad weight that you got during the off season, and you get a tan, you oil up, and you go onto the stage. And the way what goes on during a competition is there's guys, they'll be in posing trunks, they actually look like thongs, and a lot of people might laugh, but this is actually the best way to present the physiques. And they're judged on symmetry, muscularity, and conditioning. And the way that you win is simply looking better than the next guy. When you step on that stage, there's nothing that you can do from that point on to make yourself look better. It's all about what you did in the off season, what you did the 16 weeks before the competition, how you prepared. And if you're good enough at bodybuilding, you can actually earn a pro card, and you can go on to other competitions and actually make money, which is kind of cool. And just to recap, bodybuilding is the hardest sport I've ever tried, and it's not for everybody. You have to be dedicated, you have to be willing to make sacrifices to progress, to be successful. Overall, the most important thing, you have to be mentally strong, and you have to have a game plan, you have to have a plan of attack going in if you want to achieve your goals. And overall, bodybuilding is a healthy sport, and it builds you up, not just physically, but mentally as well. And that's all I have today for you guys. Thanks a lot.